Welcome back to The Way We Did It. In this episode, we go from the funky streets of Marfa to the rugged beauty of Big Bend Ranch State Park. After playing in the sand at Monohill Sandhills, we were ready for some mountain air. The next leg of our Texas road trip took us to the desert art scene in Marfa, through the wild, washed-out roads of Big Bend Ranch State Park, and finally landing in the town of Terlingua. It was a lot of ground to cover, but if there's one thing we've learned on our Texas journey so far, it's that the best stuff is always further down the road.
That rocks. Yeah. It's morning. I was falling asleep, so Shannon's driving.
The drive to Marfa actually felt like we were going somewhere. Unlike the vast openness of the plains, we started seeing interesting rock formations and distant mountains on the horizon slowly getting larger the more we drove. Marfa itself is kind of hard to describe. It was this remote outpost with bright, colorful buildings and funky architecture that felt like it belonged in a gallery, not the middle of the desert. It almost felt like walking around a movie set of a fictional town. Everything was just so curated, down to the background noise of joyful birds tweeting away. You taking a siesta? We gotta get you some coffee.
I'm hungry. Let's go.
After getting fueled up at the Sentinel coffee shop, it was time to visit a store that's famous for selling things you can't actually buy. The most famous landmark in Marfa wasn't actually in Marfa. It was a whopping 30-minute drive outside of town. On the way, we passed these giant, kitschy billboards dedicated to a James Dean movie that was filmed here back in 1956. It was a funny contrast to the sleek, high-fashion art installation we were looking for. And then it appeared, this modern, totally out-of-place Prada building just sitting on the lonely highway. I don't think our dusty truck camper exactly fit the Prada aesthetic, but we stopped anyway. Believe it or not, this isn't a real store. It's actually an art installation built back in 2005. The artist wanted to see how a symbol of luxury would hold up against the harsh Texas elements. It was originally intended to just decay back into the desert, but it became such an icon that it's been preserved ever since. We just did a little window shopping.
Up here in Valentine, Texas, at the Prada store.
It was closed,
It was closed,
unfortunately,
it's Sunday.
but yeah,
So, well,
maybe next time.
we'll see. Talking about some slutty cows. Right? Loose livestock.
God. From Marfa, we headed south into Big Bend Ranch State Park. But before completely diving in, we pulled over at Fort Leaton. It's one of the largest adobe buildings in the state of Texas, and the restoration alone was mind-blowing. It took over 80,000 adobe bricks to rebuild it the traditional way. And in some spots, the walls were nearly 4 feet thick, an absolute necessity back then to keep out the brutal desert heat. As soon as we were back on the road, the landscape got really interesting. We took the southern route that hugged the Rio Grande and the Mexican border. The views were incredible, but the road demanded our full attention. There was one section of the state park that was basically a paved roller coaster. It was steep and winding, and every time we hit a dip, we saw the debris from recent floods.
Like a roller coaster about to barf.
It
Oh, yeah,
really
you can
is.
see,
Look
look
at
at
this.
Just ripples.
Oh my gosh. It's just like up and down.
We just got a warning for a 15% grade coming up. So we'll show you that in a bit.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
I'm gonna try to catch some air.
No, slow down.
Holy moly, look at how steep that is.
I think Dave's knuckles were a little white throughout this section, but the stress was definitely worth it. The surrounding mountains were incredibly dramatic, and I officially found a new favorite plant, the Ocotillo. They had these long-reaching arms with bright red blooms that looked on fire against the desert sky. This was easily one of the most beautiful and remote stretches we've driven yet. Our next pit stop was the town of Terlingua. We checked into the Around the Bend RV park, which, to be honest, was basically 10 parking spots in a row. It wasn't fancy, but the fact that they had full hookups all the way out here felt like a pure luxury after that long drive. Dave and I spent the next day exploring the town, which was a mix of historic ruins and offbeat desert charm. We visited a historic cemetery dating back to 1902, giving us a real sense of just how long people have been toughing it out in this landscape. Afterward, we poked around a gift shop that had way too many cool things that would not fit in our camper, before finally grabbing a much-needed meal at Venga.
Here's our little feast.
Holy crow.
You've got breakfast burrito. I got blueberry muffin, egg sandwich.
Comes with pico de gigo.
Mm-hmm.
And a little salsa.
It's really good. We talked to a local that's lived here for, 11 years?
Yeah, this
She
lady.
gave us, well, one, she was eating here, so you know it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Two, she gave us some tips in other places
to eat.
to check out, so we'll definitely check those out
Mm-hmm.
during this trip. Yeah, so this place
Stay
is really
tuned.
good.
Terlingua had this edge-of-the-world energy that we absolutely loved, and it turned out to be the perfect launch point for the next big leg of our trip. Next time on The Way We Did It, we're crossing into Big Bend National Park for some incredible hikes, hidden canyons, and the biggest campsite score of the trip.